Let's talk about my movie Ants. Now, my movie Ants is very, similar to the movie Holes. So, if you don't know, literally, I'm fusing, two things together. It's Disney's, it's Antz, a DreamWorks film, literally with the Disney movie, the real life one. Shia Buff, that one is called Holes, 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 Holes. And what it is based off the main antagonist, Beretta. Who C is, this is one of three siblings that I used in wordplay called Saddam Hussein. So if you go all the way back to the child, literally 2021, her name is Beretta Sadamo, okay? So C has special shit that I do in order, to lock, earlier on when it came to, Xanax, alright? One of her powers is Xanax. In the beginning of the movie, it's some sheep in the big city, so it's a big ass sheep, literally that goes by, literally it destroys everything in town. And what ends up happening was the whole city of Bayaki gets covered and gets taken over by ants. So C was a secret mission, and her youngest brother Saddam Hussein literally was the third culprit behind this movie. And what you don't know is that this is Uncle Tommy's second movie. Breakout's Bad is his debut movie that he's dancing with all the characters including Yugi Moto. And literally the second movie was when I go hand in hand with Antz, Lily, when he actually beats me in Kirkman, Lily, so he knocked out Lily Gabaya's arm first thing. And so the rest, everyone knows what happened, okay? But the best part about Antz is one the most dimensional films and knobs. What it's still going on. It's a tournament, Lily, there's things like Master Ocean, there's deeper shit, like it's one of the greatest anime movies of all time, not just with the graphics, with Yumi Neji, the most confirmed character, Alma Dirt is in there. And literally, it has all the black customizable characters that I had in Shinobi Striker, Jubatsu, Sainik, Kaminari, etc. It really, really brings out, literally, the feel of nods and everything with it, and I want specific people to be specific ants. And, the thing is, and have a very generic, power scale, an action, thing. So, the original, view for the movie to lock people, the movie was Zap, get his ass whooped, but it's one ant that looks like Kronk, and, literally, and Zap is known to be a loudmouth, but, more of it, more for the general, extinction, is that lately the ants were heavily organized, like in packs. Like one of the scenes is from Gurren Lagann, when they're chasing all the way to the top, alright? Now, that's just one of them, okay? Now, when it comes to actual critique, Uncle Tommy is one of the best MVPs in the movie, because what ends up happening, right? Is that literally he throws a stick, he just strikes an ant, literally he does the hula shit, literally like fucking Timon and Pumbaa. I don't know when, I don't know what context, but Motor Hero has something big to come into play when it comes to ants as a whole. If you don't know, Motor Hero is Zap for rivals. So what Motor Hero does literally is he makes a pathway with Zap makes an other plan, literally, and we all know that his role in the movie when he gets his ass beat is a distraction so everybody can go up to the ant kingdom. Alright, so what else planned that movie literally is what else is planned that movie. Alright, so also all the different characters. Mom, Ninet's in there. Noel, Newell is in there. Every single character's in there except for Boomer. All right, but where I came from, people got misconceptions. There's gonna be a whole bunch of another ass. No, I'm just focusing on the first one because that's the one where all the computer generalized characters, including Kevin Williams. Okay, so when you have all these characters, find each other literally. And the thing about Antz is that it doesn't stop. It doesn't have a limit unlike, most anime. So what we're gonna do is like literally they're gonna have each character knock out plenty and Antz the same level as Heroes Rising. So it doesn't matter, So that's the problem about anime. There's too much shit that's extending in the anime universe. Right? It's a very big problem for today. It's a chocolate bar literally is guaranteed to be made by Tyler Perry. But the worst part about it, why I have characters of Sadara, literally why I have all this shit. And Bree's definitely gonna be in there. Bree's gonna be in Antz. Is that that's the original one everybody, including Skills, being ants. I'm like, fuck that. So postpone that. So instead we have funny ass, Sunny in the movie, Jerry. We have funny ass, Grab in the movie, Grab Eric Kai. Literally, in the almighty thing. Literally, when Uncle Tommy actually says, literally, oh, you good with the Federation, but when it comes to blah 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 blah, oh, that shit's hilarious, okay? Literally, so there's a simple Samurai Jack that I want to see, literally, that you don't understand, because when they're fighting ants, literally, it means a lot, because it means, the most for the planet, alright? Now, it's the first, Nas movie, if it wasn't for the original pilot, but it's the first Nas movie in terms of, documentary scripting. So what makes that similar is that's basically the first rough draft of something like Kristen Elba statue. But what Antz does, literally, is I want Brax to be Antz. I know this sounds corny, literally, I should have way more preparation for this video. But Antz does everything, okay? Antz literally puts you in your place, literally, it has literally, blood exploded, it has Kevin Williams, fighting, James something. I forgot what his name is. James Norman. Yeah, literally, that's based off James Bond. Literally, it has all that shit. All right, and the biggest and the most important part about Antz literally is that he goes in the movie. He has the incognito, talking to Uncle Simon. So it's a really big, movie. It's nothing to fucking sleep on. But there's something worse than that. Wait till you realize that that's the least of the non-specials. So all this action really packed in fucking one. This is real fucking structure, guys. That's why I got mad. Literally, these are great dimensional characters. You can't be creative, in a one-tone society. So how Antz is like this, literally, there are two loose squares. You know how I had a misconception with drawing? Misconception that I'm not good at drawing. Literally, something that I could, draw in high school looks just like Askeward. It's gonna be an ant. So what they have is they have two eyes like Mr. Hanky, but they're drawn. They're known where I actually drew nons. All right. And, what's more about that? Scaling. Shout out to voice actor Sheen dying. Sheen, Jeffrey Garcia dying. Literally, if you don't know, in the Bible, that means in my manga, literally, Sheen fights the well, literally, around the arc of Imagashi. So, it's really, really, really a big film, alright? So, Chocolate Bar is the one that I'm running on for a while, because all the characters, like I said, the MVP, Uncle Tommy is there, alright? And it's fucking, out there, alright? In a view that I had people like, Zaf, Gabaya, supporting, through too much, I'm telling you, that's what happens, alright? Before baseline, before Gabaya gets his Frieza transformation, before all that shit, really, that shit happens, okay? So that's just, a warning, everything that's tied into Antz, that's why I know about the first film of Nons that actually gets serious when it comes to all the characters, alright?